Guess what, everyone? This is Chris Kendall from therawadvantage.com. I'm out here at the Farm of Life, Finca de Vida, one of my absolute favorite places on the planet. You know, I come out here every year for a reason because, you know, Brian and Jody are not only the bomb, but the place they've created is just, it's like Eden on earth. It's amazing out here. I love it. Here's the Banana Villa. And, you know, right now I'm at my second retreat of the season. I'm going to have another one next year in March. March 14th to 21st, culinary skills, yoga, adventure, surf retreat. But right now we're here in the moment. It's day one, and Brian Calvi, co-owner of the Farm of Life, is going to be taking us on a farm tour. So let's go meet him.
Hey!
What's going on, Brian?
How you doing?
Doing great, man. Love who you are.
That's right, absolutely love who you are. It doesn't really make a difference what you're going through, whether you're angry or shameful, you're really guilty, or you just killed your mom.
What?
You still should love who you are.
Yeah, you
absolutely.
should love who you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's conducive to a healthy relationship and
you better
lifestyle,
believe it.
right? I love it.
You better believe it's the shame, guilt, and fear that eats us alive.
That's true. That is true.
Let it go.
Let it go. Let it all go.
Let it all go. It all just happens on this planet.
Yes, it does, man.
Baby being born, someone dying, someone learning to levitate, someone poop, blow brain out.
It's true. This is all true.
All same.
Oh man, you're the best. I love what you've created here, Brian.
Thank you.
It's just ridiculously beautiful. I'm gonna do a little pan here. Look at this. We got some cabins over there. We got the greenhouse. We got ridiculous Eden style. We got the fire pit, and over yonder the evening vortex. But today you're gonna show us all this kind of stuff, aren't you? What's happening?
Yeah, we got a lot of really cool stuff on the farm. Like when someone comes to this farm, they're making a choice, right? Life is choice and experience. They're making a choice to live a little bit of a lighter experience, a little bit of a higher vibration. And some of the herbs on this farm and the flowers on this farm really can contribute to that, and really add and really detoxify the blood and prepare the body for the opening.
Absolutely love it, man. Absolutely love it. So what brought you to start this? I mean, we don't want to go into an entire interview because we're going to do a full-on interview with Brian here in the future.
Ho!
We have had one in the past. You can check out this here, but it's been a few years, so we'll do another one. But, you know, what brought you to creating this center and sharing all this stuff?
Well, well, gosh, I don't know, was it 1996, 97? I was a partying, drinking, professional tennis player, lived life fast lane, loved the ladies, loved to drink, loved the drugs. My thoughts were everywhere, and I thought I was Superman. I thought I could do whatever I wanted, live however I wanted, and then all of a sudden, boop, sick. Autoimmune illness, so fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome. And then for the next 8 years, because we're all told the guy in the white suit, you know, is going to heal you, I went from specialist to doctor to this magic pill. It's work, it'll heal you, to the possible surgeries and this, that, and the other. And then finally, after 8 years of suffering and in pain, going from absolute top health to now in absolute pain and just not feeling good about myself and being sad and depressed because I was so sick, I found this lifestyle. You know, everything happens for a reason, right? I mean, so it's not like it wasn't by luck or chance. I started eating the raw foods. I started cleansing my body. And I started changing my thoughts. I started letting go of a lot of anger in my life. I started connecting to my biggest body, my soul, via the practice of sun gazing. And in a very short period of time, 1.5, 2 years, my illness was completely gone.
Man.
And then I became really passionate about, you know, wanting to give back.
Mm-hmm.
And I met my wonderful wife during this journey of mine. And we came down here for our honeymoon in Costa Rica. And we thought, wow, this is a perfect place to do it, you know? We can set it back in this organic farm where it's got nice, we can pick our own foods, have our own herbs, and people can really, because the highest life force energy is when you pick a piece of food, right, and then eat it, right? It's connected to its umbilical cord. And that's what we have. Here we are 5 years later, and here's the Farm of Life. You know, so the vision started with our honeymoon, and then we just started selling everything in the United States. And we came down here. It was a daunting task, that's for sure. But I never left the image in my mind that this place would be successful and it would heal the minds, bodies, and spirits of many, many, many people from all over the world. And that's exactly what it's done.
It is, man. Amen to that. Seriously, I've seen such huge transformations the last 4 years. I've been out here every season, and I just absolutely love it. And that's why I'm bringing it to you. Want to share it to you through this, so you're enticed even more to come out here and experience it yourself, because that's where the real transformation comes, and you put some commitment, you put some time, energy, and focused thought into more conscious action and decisions for your betterment. And you can do it here, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And also the mission and the vision of the farm is about affordability too. You can come here at a place like this for what we offer. I don't think that there's anything cheaper in the mind, body, spirit healing realms. And with all this environment and this connection, you can come here for anywhere between $1,800 and $2,500 for a month to completely change your life and in this environment. Whereas other retreat centers, that's about a week.
Yeah, or less. Or less.
Yeah.
It's an amazing place. So come join us on the tour. It's going to be amazing. And hope to see you guys out here at the Farm Life next year at my retreat or otherwise as a guest. Yeah,
bye-bye. I would moon you, but that is not appropriate for YouTube.
Not appropriate for YouTube. We can blur it out. Come on, give him a moon.
Oh, yeah.
The sacred moon.
Barefoot is best. Life is choice and experience, my friend.
Hi, Brian.
All right, how's it going, everybody? You know, when we were talking about sun gazing, right, we had talked about how you're the tree of life. You're just an upside down tree, right? And we had talked about how that lime tree is gathering air, water, earth, and sun. It's just stationary. It's just still. Talk about presence, right? We talk about presence and the power of now. There really is no forward or backward. How about a lime tree that was sitting there? It's just sun gazing all day, grabbing the energy of the sun, air, water, and earth, right? Completely. And so nature is showing us stillness and presence. Another wonderful thing that it's doing is it's also showing us the connection that we can have. Remember, we were talking about how the connection with plants is also very important. Like, for example, a dog, if I were to call Ramses over here, right, and use my voice and vibration, Ramses would come over and he would wag his tail, right? And so we would see that he was happy, right? Dog's another example of unconditional love and presence, right? And they would show you, oh, I'm happy, you two called me. But trees, in the book, The Secret Life of Plants, which is in this library right here, if you want to give it a read, they did studies on if you go over to a tree and you talk to it, you prune it, you spend time with it, it will respond to you. It will respond to you not only in giving of its fruit or its flower or its herb to you, just for you, helping you heal and get well, but it'll also grow stronger and get well. And also they've done studies if you neglect, right, a plant, it doesn't grow as strong. It grows weaker. Very similar to a human being, right? If parents neglect their child, look what happens to the child. If parents give the child a lot of love and respect and honor and all of these things, well, what happens to the child? It's the same thing with a plant. So before we talk about like medicinal values and different properties and what they do, always remember the connection, the sharing of communication and energy with flowers, plants, and herbs. And this is good if you have a backyard. If any of you have a little backyard garden, you can grow a little bit of an herb garden, and you can go out and you can talk to your plants, sing to your plants. They've done studies on music, right? We know all about music and what it does. Like you play Pavarotti or opera or whatever to plants. They grow almost two times baseline. You play a bunch of Guns N' Roses or Metallica. Hey, I used to love them. I did. But it's a very dissonant, low vibrational energy, right? And it's a lot of static, right? The plant's not really connected to that. And so it just doesn't understand it, and so it won't grow. It won't flourish as much. So the next time you want to hear Metallica, go in your car and just blare it. Just close the doors and just da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But make sure the plants don't hear it, people, please. Okay? All right. Chris does that all the time. Now, the lang lang. This is the lang lang flower. They have plantations of this in this country because it's for Chanel No. 5. It's one of the main ingredients in Chanel No. 5. You know, the smelly, it's expensive stuff. I know I wouldn't wear it. But, you know, it's like, it's really, really aromatic. But one of the reasons why it works so well is when you smell it, it gives off a euphoric feeling, right? An endorphin, right? Or a pheromone, right? Now, also, this flower, when you smell it, it makes you feel good. Well, believe it or not, they've done studies on lang lang. It actually increases, we talked about serotonin earlier this morning, it increases serotonin in the brain. It's a feel-good flower. So you smell it, right now, right as I'm doing that, in this very second, it's increasing serotonin in my brain, making me feel good. And so they actually use Lang Lang for chronically depressed people. Clinically depressed, people that are going through rough times. You smell the Lang Lang, and it just lets go. You're like, oh God, it feels really good. That's why when people are like, what is that smell? It's so good. You start to smile, you start to feel good about yourself, because it will release the depression. It'll increase serotonin immediately in your brain, allowing you to feel good about yourself, right? Also, this is an aphrodisiac. Does anybody know what an aphrodisiac is?
Ooh, yes.
You know what that is?
Yes. Good for this.
Mr. Sad gets happy! He gets so happy.
Ooh.
Right? And so this works for that. The indigenous, many centuries ago, the indigenous would use this when a man and woman wanted to get pregnant, you know, and maybe the man was a little, no, whatever, I'm bored. You know, well, you give him a little Lang Lang, ready to go.
Can you show that again?
So, a little Lang Lang and then ready to go.
There you go.
You got to use that whistle noise.
Yep.
It's important.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the Lang Lang would do that. It is an aphrodisiac. It actually increases blood circulation, right? And when the blood circulates like that and you feel good, well, what can happen? That's all an erection really is. It's just a lot of blood swimming down into the penis. So it gets ready for sex. And so Lang Lang was used for that. Now, people say, well, other than sniffing it, what am I going to do? Water-infused teas. So with all these herbs that I'm getting ready to talk about, if you want to stay raw with them, this is a raw retreat, so if you want to stay with the raw theme, make sun teas. They're the best. Sun cook your flowers and herbs. So that's all you have to do. So put a pitcher of water, and there's some pitchers over there by the tea maker over there. Ask Amanda or Melanie to get another pitcher out. We've got many other pitchers, or even a glass of water or a liter glass of water. You want it to be glass, right? You don't want plastics to leach. So lay it in the sun in the morning. Here we get great sun, for between 6 in the morning to 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Or now for all day long, right? And let it lay in the sun for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. The stronger the tea, the more you lay it in the sun, right? But at minimum 2 hours. So you lay this flower in the water or any other herbs that we're getting ready to talk about. And water is a carrier of information. Just like we talked about this morning, you're mostly water, right? Your blood is water. So you stare at the sun is unconditional love. Eventually, your blood will embody love, right? Well, water will pick up the information we just talked about, how it releases depression, right? And it's an aphrodisiac. It'll pick up that information. After about a couple hours, all the water will be infused with that information. And then you drink the water, and it tastes really good. And now you're ingesting all of its benefits. Also, if you really want a quick shot, for those of you heavy addicts, if you're really sad, let's say you're really low and you could barely, stick it in your nose, snort the Lang Lang flower.
It's a neat technique.
I'm feeling the Lang Lang in my nose. It's really amazing. You can do it like this. You can walk around all day just like this.
Is this the first time you ever did this before?
No, I do it numerous times. I do it a lot. So, I mean, it's really fun, and it makes people laugh. And that's important. Because when people laugh, they're releasing serotonin in their brain.
Looks like a mustache from here.
Yes.
It's a really good mustache.
It is. It's excellent.
It's excellent.
Or snot.
Yeah.
Or I've just sneezed.
Super
I'm
snot.
sneezing Lang Lang. It's good. It really is. It's pretty cool. So if you want to try, please, now that we're done talking about it a little bit, if you want to try it, if you want to go to the flower, now they're most aromatic when they're really yellow. When they're green, they're just ripening. They're moving into ripeness. But when they're super duper duper yellow, there's a great flower. Right now in April, it's like April is the transition month back to the rainy season. And so a lot of the flowers now are really starting to bloom. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, it's intoxicating. Yep. You want to make love to it. Isn't that nice? Yeah.
I understand that.
Stick it in your nose.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Snort it. It's called snorting the Lang Lang. It's a technique. It was done many thousands of years ago. That's a lie, by the way. I lie a lot. Down this trail, it's only a short 5-minute trail. Very self-explanatory. The rocks, you can follow it straight down. If you go down, there's a sign on the left after about, let's say, I don't know, for a 3-minute walk over the wooden bridge. There's cement little cookies. You'll keep walking straight, and there's a left that says Parrot House. There's a left that says Coal Pools. Go down that little trail, and you'll run into, now March and April it's dried out, but it used to be a little jacuzzi pool that we collected the spring water from, because we have a really beautiful spring source in that little forest jungle area right there. And there is just a cement little coal pool there, where normally it's full with really super alkaline water. Now in March and April it dries out. Unfortunately it's April right now, but there's a little bench there just to sit and relax and maybe meditate. Sometimes monkeys will come in. So if you just want to take a little walk one day and you're like, I just want to explore around the farm, it's very safe on this farm. It's not like you're going to get bit by a snake or anything. Oh, well, there's one person that got eaten. But don't worry about that. That won't happen. You can just walk shortly down this trail and just enjoy it. There's a little bench down there, and it's just a great place to meditate. And so this is the trail. Very safe, self-explanatory. It's impossible to get lost. And then you'll just walk back up.
Where's the yoga hut, Brian?
The yoga hut's up here. It's at the top. It's the very top of our farm.
There we go.
It's probably so peaceful, so quiet. Hello! Back again to our next. This is an herb. This is probably, in my humble opinion, I would say it's the most powerful herb on this farm. Probably tied with the Gutacola. But I prefer this one. I just like its taste because I just eat it leaf by leaf. This over here is called holy basil, or tulsi. In India, it's revered. Generally, if people are going into a home in India, as an offering, they'll give someone tea, holy basil tea. First and foremost, what does it do? First and foremost, this will relax you. Now, most people coming here, this is a healing center, and we talked about the human doer. I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this. You're waiting in the line, you know what? You're at the red light, and you're like, oh, I got my boyfriend problems, my girlfriend problems, I got money issues, I got to go to work. I don't know why I have to go to work. I hate my job. I don't even like my kids, right? And you're just going on and on and on. It's the moo moo cow life, you know? Well, what happens when someone comes here to heal, their adrenals, they're almost put themselves in fight or flight, right? It's almost like, in that world, it's like you're being chased by a bear 24/7. It's like you're like, oh God, all day long, you're in fight or flight. Well, they've done studies on this herb. When you start to eat this herb or make sun teas or everything we just talked about, it immediately will lower the cortisol levels in your adrenal gland, causing you to start to relax and become more calm. So first and foremost, that's what holy basil does. And many people, when they come here, are really high stressed out. They've been really stressed out from their lives. And so ingesting this in all the different forms that we talked about, first and foremost, it's good to just eat the leaves. I generally tell people that here that are really sick or have healings, every 2 to 3 hours, eat 5 of these leaves. By the time you leave, you should feel way, way, way better. Because first and foremost, it will calm the adrenals down, allowing you to sleep better, rest better, open up to peace and serenity a little bit, this leaf. The second thing this leaf does, they've done studies on this. They took a whole bunch of holy basil and they stuck it in polluted water. 24 hours later, they tested the water. They took the leaves out, they tested the water. The water was completely pure. It can completely purify water. Now, what are you? You're mostly water. And so it would make logical sense, right? That if I had you eating this leaf every 2 to 3 hours, just 5 leaves, that it would start to clean your water or blood, right? And you would pee out the toxins, you'd poop them out, it would come out your skin. Maybe you'd have a little vomit, but that's good, it's okay, you know? And you'd continually detox by eating this herb, right? So again, you're making your sun teas, you're eating its leaves, you're making juices out of it in the smoothie, in the blender, and you're also putting it in salads as well. You can do that, just sprinkle it. Now what makes this a medicinal over a food is that you couldn't eat a whole salad of these. Chris Kendall, if you could do that, I would.
I don't want to.
I would kiss you. I would make out with you.
I'll try.
I would. You can't, what a medicinal is generally everything we just talked about, how it relieves stress and how it detoxifies the body. You can feel it. Like you all ate this last night. Almost immediately. It's a medicine, man. You're like, whoa, right? You're just like, gee, whoa. You couldn't have a salad of this. No way. But it's a medicine because it does its desired result with just a little bit. Immediately, you can feel a difference in your body. Versus bananas, which is like part of a healthy regime, right? You eat a bunch of bananas, and it's making you healthy. It's part of the spokes in the wheel of health. Whereas these medicinal herbs, they will act quickly on the things that I'm talking about. And when people come here that are pretty sick, sometimes you got to ramp it up a little bit. You got to act a little bit faster. And so then you hit these herbs fast, making teas out of them, eating the leaves, and immediately the body responds with better health.
Incredible
So
for
that's
tooth and
holy
gum
basil.
health too, hey?
Oh, absolutely. It's great for the mouth. This is in the mint family. The girls over here were saying, "Oh yeah, it's kind of like mint." It is in the mint family. It also, from on a spiritual side, the reasons why from India, the reasons why people love holy basil and tulsi so much, because we just talked about how it relieves stress and it calms the body. But when you calm the body, you also drop into a meditation deeper, right? When the body goes calmer. And so this was a meditation herb. So people would drink this tea and then they would go off into meditation because it would deepen them into more of an altered state. It would bring them into a quicker state, an altered state of consciousness. So this herb they used for that. Also, they've done studies on this herb and it decalcifies the pineal gland. We talked about the sixth chakra or the third eye. Everyone has that, but most people it's asleep because of lack of connection. Our thoughts, lack of connection to our soul, and the way we eat, the acid forms of ways that we eat, right? And so with this, it actually really works on decalcifying the pineal gland. And when the diamond within opens, right, your connection between your highest self and your smallest experience, your physical experience, becomes a lot more realized, right? There's a distinct difference, a distinct voice between the ego and the higher self. This will help detoxify and clean and decalcify the pineal gland. It's a really magical herb. So come on over and try it. Come on. Come on.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Don't be afraid of Mother Holy Basil. She will nourish you and clean you. Joe has been cleaned.
I've been clean.
He took a big poop this morning.
What do you think?
Pretty strong.
What's that?
It's pretty strong, hey?
Minty.
Minty, and it almost
Every 2
makes
to
your
3
mouth
hours
like
have 5
tingle,
leaves.
right? Your whole mouth is
Right,
like
but I'm saying, but
vibrates.
No. I would come to the
Beautiful.
bushes. You want the strongest life force of anything, guys? If you want to get the absolute most potency out of any plant or leaf, right now it's connected to its umbilical cord. It's getting its energy from air, water, earth, and sun. They've done studies on this. When you pick a food, you got generally about 30 minutes before it starts to oxidize, meaning it starts to lose some of its life force energy, right? And so, if I were you, if you're going to eat these herbs every 2 to 3 hours, your cabins are right. It's not like you got to walk a long way, right? You just get up, come to the plant, maybe say hi to the plant, maybe a little bit of intention. This is what I'd like you to do for me, and eat it. Eat a few leaves. You don't have to eat 5, maybe 1 or 2. For many people, it's very strong and they don't like it. And if you don't like it, you don't have to eat it. I mean, you're not being forced, certainly, to eat these. Maybe. No. But if you eat if you eat these leaves, then you will see
tell you about
you will
those.
see benefit. Now, if it's too strong for you guys, lay it in the water in the
Eggs.
sun and drink a sun tea. Make a tea every morning while you're here. Make an herb tea after you learn all these. It's a little bit more dilute and it's not as strong as eating them raw. Having said that, though, eating the leaves raw is the most potent and most effective way of doing it. I will say that. But most people are like, oh God, it's too strong for them. So the next best thing is to do a sun tea. And sun teas are very effective. They really are, because you can drink lots of it then, rather than just little concentrated amounts like these leaves. Only for companion gardening, which we're going to talk about a little bit more when we get down to the greenhouse, but you can use the buds, not to smoke them, Joe.
Joe.
Don't roll up a joint and smoke the basil.
All right.
All right.
Can we?
But that you can take it. Sure, if you want. What the hell?
All right.
But
That's not good.
But if you want to take these buds and then you just take them for aromatherapy and you just roll them up in your hands. Let's say you got insects all over you. They're bugging the shit out of you. They're biting you all over the place. You don't like them. You just take this. Insects do not like the vibration or the frequency of herbs. That's really a good little tip especially for growing greenhouses, right? You use companion gardening. If you want to grow a little bit of basil, then you put some holy basil right next to it, and the bugs smell the holy basil, they run away, and now you've got your bok choy or kale or whatever, and the bugs don't mess with them. So you use frequency to play around with the insects that eat a certain other green. We'll talk about how that's being done in the greenhouse here in a second. But you use this oil, now it's rubbed off, the holy basil oil from the bud, and you can just put it all over your face. You can aromatherapy, you can rub it all over your head. If you stink a little bit, you can throw it here. A little stink. Chris stinks a lot. He throws it down
I do
here.
not.
You know? There. Right there. It's all that gassy, spicy food he eats.
What?
All right. Now, let's go on to the next plant.
Ooh.
All right. This is one that you've probably already eaten.
It's my favorite.
Notice this one gets really picked out because it's the closest one to the restaurant. But you've got some over here, you got some over there. This is called katuk, K-A-T-U-K, and it's more in the food category rather than an herb because it can be eaten quite a bit. You can eat like boatloads of this. You can eat this as a salad, definitely, no question. It would taste really great, by the way. All of its flowers, all of the leaves are edible, and it's got a nutty flavor, and it's very, very high in protein. Pregnant women, actually, that are vegetarians or vegans or raw vegans, they consume high quantities of katuk because it's a little higher in protein than most other greens. And so it's highly consumed. It's also really high in chlorophyll. Everything green is high in chlorophyll, but this has a higher content of chlorophyll than most other greens. What does chlorophyll do? You're eating the energy of the sun. It's the intermediary of sun gazing. You know, when you're eating your greens, you're eating pure love, right? Because it's the green chakra. And you're also eating and uptaking the energy of the sun when you're eating greens. And that's really an important thing to do for healing. And it's also a great blood builder. Really detoxifies the blood and rebuilds the blood for health. And so please come in now and try some katuk. Katuk is fantastic.
You can take a whole stem.
People take it. They'll take it like this. Watch. You can take it from here, whoop, just like that. And that way, the plant will regrow. It'll regrow its leaves.
It's really yummy.
And, it's
so good.
really good. People love katuk.
So good.
And so now you can come out. You can throw some katuk onto the salad if you want. You can.
Take a green onion
Mm-hmm.
and eat take a bite of a green onion stem and then put katuk in his mouth and he says it tastes like ranch chicken. There you go.
Yeah.
Katuk and green onion for ranch. Oh, hey, look at that. Ooh, right there. There's naturally Ashley.
Katuk is really quite fantastic. I like it.
I want more.
Sit under the tree and
Yummy.
The old leaves have a different flavor too. Like the ones that are curly
Yeah.
are still really good.
It's a healthy snack. So Joe, when you're walking around, let's say you're a little bit hungry, you don't want any more holy basil, you're sick and tired of them. You grab some katuk and just eat it. This is a great healthy. There's katuk all down there too. All by your cabins is all down here. Now why do we place all of this food around the eating structures? That's called permaculture. Permaculture is how little energy you can use to pick your food, right? And so if you have food all around your restaurant, all around your food area, right? So you don't have to expend all of this energy in harvesting and collecting and then walking it back, right? You just walk 5, 6, 7, 10 steps, grab your food, put it in a bowl, go sit down and eat it. It's the energy efficiency of permaculture or biodynamics, one or the other. All right.
Ooh,
Yeah, good question.
the harvest house. And we'll go to the front yard.
These questions probably everybody wants to ask me. The question was asked, does katuk is katuk the only thing that grows in the tropics? It does. It grows maybe in the subtropics, maybe like Spain and Italy down in the southern, the mafia section of Italy. It probably would grow in more of the Mediterranean subtropics and tropical, but after that, probably not. But again, remember we talked about let your fingers do the walk and find out in your local area what herbs grow, because they grow in your area, guys. They do. They grow in Canada. It's better. There's more energy when you can pick something. Like you get a little backyard, you can grow in pots. Have little big pots or whatever, and you can talk to them, water them. they'll learn you, they'll know about you, and then you'll have this beautiful exchange of energy from the plant that you nourished from seed to adult. And then what's going to happen is that adult herb tree is going to be like, I know you. You have a problem with your foot. And we'll have some kind of medicine to open up your foot. Right? It's just the connection that you would have with the plants. This here is another food rather than a medicine. Right? But medicine is your food. Please don't mistake what I'm saying. But it's part of a healthy lifestyle, right? But this is a begonia. It's called a begonia. Now, begonias do grow in the temperate climates where you guys live at. You can grow this. It's very tart. When I was a kid, you ever heard of 7-Elevens or Circle K's? You know, those little convenience stores you pump gas or whatever. I used to always steal candy out of those stores. I'm going to go to hell, and I'm good with that. I don't judge it. But we used to always. I love sour balls. Chris, did you like sour balls?
Yeah, I like the lemon heads and sour balls.
Did you steal? You did. Don't lie.
Not those. I stole chips and chocolate bars
Skateboarders
sometimes.
always steal, and yes. All right.
It happened. I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah. I forgive
it
you.
is what it was.
I forgive you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm all better now.
So all the flowers and all of the leaves, they taste a little. They're very sour and tart, right? And so when you eat it, you'll be like, ooh. Some people, it's 50%. You'll either like this or you'll be like, I don't like it. So please give it a try. It's a begonia. Come on.
Dive into the begonia.
Have some begonia. And again, of course, due to the fact that it is green, it's a blood purifier.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Flowers are, yeah, it tastes very similar to the green.
Is it?
But some people like them, some people don't.
It's good though. It's
Yeah.
it's strong. It's
It has some juice in it.
I like it. Yeah.
Lemon.
Good.
It's really nice.
Again,
Nice.
Citrus.
good. You guys really like it. That's good.
It's like
I like
citrus.
it.
Yeah. So now you see this is so close to the restaurant and so close to your cabins. And so now you can come and you can grab some of this food and just pick it right off its life umbilical cord and eat it. And so it's great. Put it in your bowl or something like that along with your salad that you're already going to have, you know? It's really good stuff.
It's funny too, Bri. Like a lot of people are concerned if they try and take like veganism to a level where, you're hurting the plant by picking it. But if you pick properly, you pick the leaves, you actually help the plant. It's pruning.
Absolutely. That's a great question too. Believe it or not, if I would, and it's funny because a lot of raw vegans are like, don't touch the tree. Well, guess what? That lang tree right there, that lang tree could grow, and they're super tall, right? But then what would happen is the human being would have to work so hard just to get the flower from it. It would go up so high. And so what happens is they've done studies on this. The tree likes to get a little haircut, right? Like you trimmed your beard the other night. You look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. You trimmed your beard. I shaved my head. This is a very sexy look for me.
You are sexy.
Yes. And so what happens is you keep yourself trimmed. The bushes and trees, they're asking, again, the exchange of energy. Everything's an exchange of energy. They're asking the bushes, they're asking us, please, give me a little trim. And when you trim them, they increase fruit yield for you. They'll triple. Apple trees, you prune, you do proper pruning, an apple tree will triple its fruit production. Triple. A begonia bush, like this is an old, right? You take it, give it a little prune, cut it here, you cut it in certain areas, and what happens is the begonia says, oh, thank you. It gives it more space to grow more roots and to give you more food, right? All bushes and trees and herbs love that. So you have to, I actually like it. I go with my little pruners. Where are they? I usually used to have them here. The little thing you use them. You know?
Get these
you
guys
know,
are
and
just
I
about
just
to-
go around and I prune. Like in the rainy season, I'll do that a lot. You know, like I'm done with health coaching and I've got 3-4 hours, right? I garden. You know, like, oh, that's not manly. Well, so what? Then I'm gay.
You're pretty cute.
Deal. You know? So I mean, I really enjoy it. I like gardening. I'm not unafraid to say that.
Therapeutic.
It's really therapeutic. Why? You're exchanging energy with these wonderful these plants have energy just like us. And you're exchanging your energy with them and they start to understand. Like this farm knows it's a healing place. I think you all probably have already felt that by now. Like this is a healing place. The plants know it. The cabins know it. Every part of this farm is a healing space of peace and solitude and quietness, you know? and they all have the intention. I think why? Because we've walked to all the trees. I've walked to literally every single plant on this farm I've been next to. And I've pruned it, touched it, sung to it, peed on it. You know? Please, pee, squat on some tree. They like that. It's information.
Dare you?
It's actually really good. They've done studies on, in greenhouses, they'll use diluted urine. Like the person's urine will urinate, dilute it with water, and use it on the plants. And then the plants start to say, oh, look.
That's who's around
It'll
me.
start to understand, that's Chris. It's Chris Kendall. It starts to understand you.
F yeah, this is rad.
Yeah. Your urine tastes like shit.
I like it. It's like tea.
Yeah, exactly, right? And so the plant drinks your information from your urine, and then actually the plant provides itself to you, because it understood your urine profile and what you might need to balance yourself out. The plant will do that. It's amazing. They've done studies on that. Joe, you had a question? No?
No, I was just saying that it's kind of like the worm castings, how they
Yeah,
use the
without a
trees.
doubt. We'll talk about that down in the greenhouse here in a little bit. But yeah, without a doubt. Now let's go back to a medicine. This is a strong medicine. This is even stronger than holy basil. This is, if you're British, you call it oregano. If you're like me, you call it oregano. I don't know what you guys call it in your own languages, but it is really powerful. Now, what is the benefit of this? Joe, you want to consume this, absolutely. And the rest of you, if you've done a little smoky smoke, or you've done a little drink the alcohol, or you've done little things that maybe the liver might be gunked up a bit, hey, forgive yourself. We've all done things that everyone says, that's bad. It's not really bad. Just do it and enjoy it. But oregano will cleanse the liver, right? It acts immediately upon the liver. A lot of people actually, they're like, I won't ever do that oregano again. Because they'll take oregano here when they're on a healing protocol, and they'll start to get nauseous and sick. Kind of like the bowls of you ladies last night, It's okay. Nausea, here on a healing center, nausea's good. Like when someone starts to get sick, I'm like, all right. And the person's like, fuck you. And I'm like, no, that's good. I'm like, something's happening. You're getting it out. Better out than in. That's what this, when you come to a healing center, it's not always going to be, wee, Disney World. It's not always going to be like that when you're healing. And sometimes you get a headache or you diarrhea or you not feel good. Or you got to sleep one whole day to regenerate. But this is powerful. It will act upon the body very quickly, opening up the gall and bile ducts. It's kind of like a coffee enema a little bit.
Stimulating.
You start to eat these leaves. It really opens the gall and bile duct, and it dumps its toxins back into your bloodstream. Makes sense. You'd feel nauseous, right? You're like, oh God, I feel sick. I'm a little lightheaded. Sometimes you'll get that way with oregano. However, in time, it'll clean it out, and then you'll feel great again. Right? And so please, as you're walking by, please try some oregano leaves.
Protein. No, I'm joking. I love oregano.
It's really great.
Very
it's
nice.
Wonderful. Italian. I'm an Italian, right? Well, not really. We have a really Italian here, but my heritage is Italian, and we used a lot of my Auntie Jean used to use oregano in her cooking all the time. Like, it was so original because she was from Italy, and she knew all these really tricks of the trade, and she used to use oregano all the time, man. And I just remember. So when I eat it, I'm like, oh. I just remember back when I was a kid, and just my aunt was such a wonderful lady. Of course, she was very large and she died of diabetes, but we still love her. So
And she taught you a lot through that.
She did. I love my aunt. She was amazing, and she loved oregano. And she always said what an amazing herb it was. So, please, as you walk by, so we're gonna walk this way now. So here you've got mint. So right close to the oregano, you've got the mint bush here. Now, what's mint good for? And all the restaurants know, right? A little candy mint as you leave, right? They're smart. So you go to an Italian restaurant and you pack it in, man. You're like, ugh. Right? You got all this food, pasta and everything, eggplant parmesan. Ooh, let's go. No.
We have Italian night. We have Italian night in 2 days, brother.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it. But you go and then they're like, here, have a mint, because the mint will settle. It's kind of like nature's Pepsid AC or nature's Pepto-Bismol. It will release the acid bubbles that are being created in the stomach. It will bring them down, so that way you don't have these digestive problems. right? Even if you've overeaten on like Italian restaurant or something like that. Of course, much better is to eat the leaf itself rather than the candy, peppermint candy, right? And so this here, you eat the leaves. Let's say someone comes here and has ulcers, or any kind of gastrointestinal problem like diverticulitis, Crohn's, colitis. You want them eating the mints, the mint leaves. The mint leaves are really, really good, and they're really healing for healing the stomach and any kind of digestive disorder. And so as you're walking by, please try a mint leaf. Over there is spearmint. They're cousins of each other. They do the same thing. I like spearmint better, actually. So this one here is spearmint. And so you can have all kinds of fun with that one. So they both do pretty much the same. And then before we walk through, this one gets gotten pretty picked out, and I'll show you more because we have another herb garden outside the greenhouse. But this is called lemongrass, right? Those of you like Thai food, a little spicy action, you go Thai. My wife loves Thai. She has an addiction to it. Whenever I go to Thai, I just sweat. I just sweat. I don't really like it. But I love lemongrass. Hey, Mr. Guy, what's up? It's a non-stinging bee. They're really cool. I hope I didn't kill him. So, if you have troubles with sleeping, first and foremost, lemongrass is excellent for sleep. If you're having troubles like you just like, oh my God, my mind, I can't get to sleep, lemongrass #1 for curing insomnia. And what you do is just take it, cut it up. You get raw, you can suck. Now you can't swallow this, right? It's a grass. We don't have 4 stomachs like a cow. Chris does. I don't, right? So you just chew, suck. Your teeth are the best juicer that you got. So suck the juice out and then just spit. Just drop it down, back on the ground. If you want to do it raw, or you can do the sun tea again, or you can do a hot tea. Sometimes these are better heated at night. Raw vegans, I'm sorry, don't kill me. But if you make a little bit of a hot tea at night sometimes...
No! Blasphemy!
Kill you! But sometimes it brings about its properties and leaches off its oils a little bit quicker, right? And then you drink that. And also it's nice and warm, it's like a little baby. You warm the milk, I'm sleepy, right? You go to sleep. And so just a little bit of a hot tea, it's not going to hurt you. At night, if you have trouble sleeping, the lemongrass is excellent for that. And so just come out. We don't have too many blades out here, but we have a bunch I'll show you out by the greenhouse here in a little bit. Okay? So try some lemongrass, and then just cut it up. If you're going to do a tea, you cut it up, put it in the little teapot there, and warm up boil up some water, and throw it in your little teapot. Let it steep for 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then drink. There you go. Or the sun tea. If you want to do it raw, you got your sun option, or you can just chew it raw. All right? That's a decorative.
Oh.
A cousin of the begonia plant, but a decorative, not an edible. Really, it's very pretty though, isn't it? Mm-hmm. All right, so follow me, troopers. And Chris talked about here in the last couple days about the rarity of foods. We've learned that dates are a crown chakra food, right? Chris just taught me that today. This here is called Wandering Jew.
Isn't that racist?
Right? It's not. I'm sorry, John. If you're a Jew out there, I promise you, I'm not being racist.
It's just joking.
This is Wandering Jew, and you can eat this in salads. It's a food, right? And it is very much so. It's in the purple range of light, right? And so it's very much so in the 6 or 7 chakra ranges of light. So if you eat that, you're really opening up into the dream state, into the altered states of consciousnesses. So please, the more you consume Wandering Jew, and of course you'll have some of it this week in your dinner salads. But the more you can consume that, the more you open up to the higher experience of yourself. That's good. Believe it or not, it is doing something, though, for sure, because of its frequency. Once you learn the colors and you learn what they do, you'll know, the benefit, this really strong benefit that the Wandering Jew has. This, now, let's go to the next one. This is spearmint, by the way. Don't forget about this and its efficiency in its digestive system. This one here,
It's my favorite mint.
You've all heard of cilantro, right, everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Cilantro is excellent for heavy metal detox. Now, along this farm, if you walk around, it runs wild on this farm. Wild. Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. This is culantro. Its cousin. Right here, here, and here. So as you walk by, grab some culantro. Not cilantro, but culantro. C-U instead of C-I.
That's cool.
Yes. It's very cool. And it does the same thing. A lot of times if you've lived in, let's say, big cities or areas of civilization where there's a lot of exhaust fumes from cars, there's going to be some heavy metals in your body. So consuming anything green, right, are all the blood purifiers that'll get some of the heavy metals out. But more specifically, culantro's responsibilities are to do that, right? So as you walk by, grab a culantro leaf and give it a try.
Chew it well, it's a little spiky.
Yeah, and then also here too, you got stevia over here and right here. Stevia, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, stevia sweetens everything. It's the sweetener. But really, it actually acts upon the pancreas. So if people come here that are hypoglycemic, hyperglycemic, type 1 or type 2 diabetics, you want them consuming stevia because it actually regulates blood sugar and insulin levels. It really acts upon the pancreas quite quickly, and it really does a nice job with that. So come on through and try all these.
Yeah, those buds of the stevia are amazing. It's like a whoop, flavor explosion if you get right in there. Right there, these guys.
So you eat the actual
Yeah,
buds,
you grab a bud, just like this. It's really neat. You can pop the whole thing in and just chew it up. It's like a.
Oh wow.
Isn't that intense? It's like really intense. Give her guns. Yeah, you can eat the leaves too. The buds of the culantro is nice too, actually.
Stevia is really strong.
Well, that's
It's
stevia
really
or
powerful.
culantro?
Really
That's
works.
stevia.
Really does a great job for the
The
pancreas.
culantro is like really spiky.
It's like, oh, it's this one?
Oh. I've got a mango tree back there.
You've got one of the things that sometimes I leave out. I talk about all the herbs. A lot of our fruit trees aren't fruiting yet, but some of them are. Like this is a pink lady grapefruit tree. It's a really beautiful. They're not, as you can see, they're not quite ripe yet. They're in their green stage, but when they start to fleck orange and pink, you're gonna get the pink lady grapefruit. Grapefruits are excellent to combat candida. It will kill like people that get candida overgrowth. You know what I mean? A lot of yeast infections. Women will get them quite a little bit more than men, but men will get them as well. Fogginess. It's like a in the system.
Big cashew apples. I love these things. If you haven't seen my video on cashew apples, all about it, peep that right here. They're awesome.
Mood swings. It can cause almost everything. It can cause symptoms of MS. It can cause symptoms of lupus. And so sometimes the candida is so bad, the only way you can get rid of it is to water fast and starve it out. But in more mild cases, you take fruits like this that are very astringent, and it can bring the candida down. It can kill the yeast. It can kill it back and kill it back to where, and then you take the good acidophilus and the good bacteria to where everything's back in balance again, and you're good, right? Sometimes just a low-fat, raw vegan diet can take care of candida. Other times, if it's really spinning out of control, you might have to do a 7 to 10 day water fast. Just depends. Every case is a little bit different with that. So anyway, yeah, here's really, this is a huge fruit orchard we're in right now. You've got the cashew fruits. This is a cashew tree right here.
You can see some big ones over
Very
there.
beautiful.
Man, your mangoes are getting huge.
Yeah.
There's one like the size of a head almost over there.
Yeah, the mangoes. Let's go over. We can go over and take a look at that. That's a Tommy mango tree. Here you've got the Mandarina acidicos. This is, believe it or not, most people say, well, that's a lime tree, right? Because it's green. But actually, if you cut this open, it's orange. Oh, wow. It's actually a Costa Rican lemon, right? And lemons and limes are the most alkalizing fruits, and so you definitely want to use these. So take advantage of them. What I really brought you out here for, though, is you're starting to realize that this farm is like the raw vegan candy land. Just about everything is edible here, really. Just about everything is edible. This yellow flower here is called mani in Spanish, or peanut. So in English, this is called peanut grass, and it actually tastes like a raw peanut. It's completely edible. Please grab a flower and eat it.
They're delicious.
It tastes just like a raw peanut.
Mm-hmm.
And they're legumes. So please come out to this sector of the farm and grab the flowers and enjoy them. Aren't they nice?
So awesome.
Yeah.
Tony Wright's book, Left in the Dark, talks about the intimate connection between flowers, fruits, and our growth of the brain. developmental period. Oh man, look at those.
You can take a look here. This is a Tommy mango tree. We just, we're this orchard got planted. Let me think. This orchard got planted probably 8 years ago. And now we're finally starting to see the fruits of our labors. And you're starting to see quite a few mangoes. We're gonna get
all
quite
over,
a few
man.
mango.
Look at that.
I would say right now it's April. I would say in July or August,
Yeah.
these will be ready to eat.
That's awesome.
So here's a beautiful Tommy mango. And then, over here in English, they call it Rollinia. In Spanish, it's called Biriba. Be careful of ants here, people. Biriba. This is Biriba, and this is probably my favorite fruit as it tastes like a lemon meringue pie. It's white and creamy inside, and hopefully we'll get a ripe one this week that you can try. It's absolutely delectable. I mean, really. It's it's a mouth orgasm, people. It really is.
They're awesome.
Yeah, it's truly amazing. And so this is the Biriba tree. And so this is just a few fruit trees that we'll show you along the way here of many, many, many fruit trees that are on the farm. More mandarina acidicos. If you want to come pick them, please do.
Bread nut tree over there. And the path down to the greenhouse and the cabins. There's 3 different sets of cabins out here. All the way up there. On the other side of the harvest house. And down here.
And notice here you've got katuk, more katuk.
Oh, I think I need a couple katuks. The best salad in the world is just a walking salad.
This here's the spa, guys. So if you order massages, or let's say you do a Reiki session or energy work with me, I don't know any of you that want that or not. But if you want to do an energy session with me, this is the spa. This is where we'll be. The 7 chakra Tibetan singing bowls are housed in here, and you can use them as well. All right? All right, so now we go down to the...
Wow. Go to Kula.
Remember, as I was saying earlier, well, first of all, let's talk about a little bit about companion gardening first. Companion gardening is what we talked about earlier, is using frequency therapy to confuse the insects. So, for example, this is romaine lettuce, right? Notice I've got chives next to it, right? It's called companion gardening. So let's pretend I'm an insect. I smell the chives. And I'm like, ooh, wait a minute. I don't like the smell of the chives. It's all frequency. And so the bug kicks out. He goes, gone. See you later. I'm out of here. And then you leave your romaine lettuce for a human consumption, right? That's called companion gardening. Using frequency therapy to confuse the insects. Because if you do an organic garden, you don't want to use chemicals, right? So you need just play around with frequencies. Use the herbs, right? For example, here we have spearmint. So this is a spearmint leaf. Underneath is guticola. Remember we talked about the 2 strongest herbs on the farm? Guticola is right here, and it's very alkalinizing. Woo-wee! Make a tea out of this, it's powerful. Guticola is great for the 7th chakra, the brain, the idea of you. It also fuses the corpus callosum, right, which fuses the left and right hemispheres of the brain. It's very similar like ginkgo biloba, too. You know how it's supposed to increase memory? This stuff is for your brain health. Excellent for brain health.
Can you eat the leaves?
Really good. You can eat the leaves, you can eat the stems, you can eat the whole thing. It's really, really, really powerful. And it'll actually bring you into a deep meditative state. It will bring you into a very expansive state. Making tea from holy basil and guticola is extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. It'll actually kind of take you out of your body a little bit. It'll get you out of your head. Like if you're depressed or shameful or sad, you take this and just, whoop, it'll just pop you right out of that experience. It really will. So take advantage of the guticola while you're here this week, and also the holy basil, which is all over the farm, right? So please come in, grab some guticola. Notice the insects are not bothering the guticola. Why? They smell the spearmint, they don't like it, and off they go. Same with the kale over here, the dinosaur kale. Try some of that dinosaur kale. It's the best kale. Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
It is so smooth. It's not bitter.
You can prune the plant and help it out. Just grab it and pull down.
Yeah.
Whoop. There you go.
Really amazing.
Different varieties
It's
of
the
kale.
best. It's truly the best dinosaur kale I've ever had. You have
Me
two
too.
different types of kale in there. You've got curly kale and dinosaur kale, and both of them have really
I like
great
rusty
properties.
leaves.
But obviously, when you're ever eating anything green, you're purifying your blood and you're uptaking the sun's energy. And so, please come in here, Joe. Come on in for your smoothies. Touch your food. Come in, touch your food a little bit for whatever it is that you're doing while you're here. The more connection you have, I mean, how many times can you do that? Where you live, it's maybe hard, right? And so you're on this farm for 2 weeks. I know it's an all-inclusive retreat, but have some fun, please. Please walk around the farm and grace it, because it's exactly what it wants you to do. It wants you to touch it. It wants you to eat it. Grab it. Have some fun with it. Come on, let's walk down a little bit further. As you can see,
Don't you feel like a dinosaur when you eat it?
That one is a dinosaur, right?
It's amazing.
These are dino.
Oh, this one.
This is curly.
That one is dinosaur, correct? Okay, so this is the curly one.
Just amazing.
yeah.
Lollipop.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Who needs candy when you got that?
You go back to
My
the doctor
favorite over
and
here.
they're like, what? You have what?
You got a breakfast.
So, and that's all you gotta do is stuff like this.
Ooh.
So here you've got chard over here. And you can always ask Jack too, say, hey Jack, what's ready to be harvested? Like come when he's down here working, be like, hey, what's ready to be picked? And then they'll be like, yeah, that's ready to go, and then you can pick it and eat it.
Ooh. You don't want some chard?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's very
Try a
potent.
piece of it, maybe.
Go for it.
2 more herbs. I'm going to show you 2 more really powerful herbs. This acts upon the thyroid gland. A lot of times people are hypo or hyperthyroid, right? A lot of times, a lot of emotions and mood swings can happen when you have thyroid problems, right? This is sage. Sage grows in your area. Sage grows better in your area than mine. Sage, it really grows in your area. Here, small, not so good. But it's excellent, acts upon the thyroid gland, and it's really good for lung expansion of the lungs, more oxygen in the blood, right? It's really fantastic for that. So the more you can consume sage in your area, the better. Make teas, make sun teas, everything that I said. You can do all the same stuff in your area. Let's lay it in the sun for a couple hours and drink it up, and it's really a magical plant, truly.
It's purslane too. Hey, it's like this is found everywhere in the world. Everywhere there's man.
Absolutely. Purslane is
pretty
really
fun.
high in protein. It's another
Omega-3s
green,
too.
very similar to katuk. A lot of pregnant women will use it to increase milk production. When they're pregnant, it's
Check out
really,
my
really
video.
fantastic. Really high blood builder as well.
It's the highest omega-3 green in the world, and high sodium.
Absolutely.
It's great.
Purslane.
It's just amazing.
I never had it.
This is probably one of my favorite herbs, and of course it grows in your area too, probably even more lavishly. Lavender. Oh, I love lavender. Lavender oil acts upon the respiratory system. So one of my favorite things to do with lavender is just like pet it. And then, oh God, it's like it's intoxicating. You can smell it even, right?
Yeah.
Just by doing this.
So relaxing.
Oh, wow.
You smell it? It starts to waft in. You can pet it like a dog, and like all of a sudden it just goes, woo! It's so happy, it like pees oil on you. It's great. It doesn't really.
Doesn't pee, but
No.
you're lying again, bro.
No, yeah, sorry.
It's okay. It's good. It's good. Shares oil.
Oh my God.
It's nice.
All right. Isn't lavender amazing? It's really great. Now, again, really wonderful for the blood. Acts upon the thyroid. It's very similar to sage in what it does. Acts upon the thyroid gland, really regulating metabolism. Sun teas. A sage lavender sun tea. Oh, okay, Bella. It's nice. Yeah, it's good stuff. That was Italian.
Miss Naturally Ashley loves
Yeah.
banana, lavender, vanilla smoothies.
Banana? Banana what?
Lavender, vanilla.
Oh, yeah. This is more mature dinosaur kale over here. Really good stuff. Mostly, when I was in the States, I hated kale. It was bitter, and I was like, oh,
Me
I don't
too.
like it. This kale, it's very smooth. It has no bitter twinge. It's absolutely fantastic. And you guys some of you have already tried it, but this is just really, really good kale.
It's actually blue.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? It kind of has a greenish blue twinge. Which again, higher chakras. Blue is the throat chakra, right? A lot of times people have problems with the throat chakra. Let's consume the blue-green kale, right?
Yeah, this is big, way better.
People,
So good.
yeah, oh man, tons. You know, for your smoothie in the morning, look at all the kale you got. You're in Candyland, Joe.
Yeah, I am.
Kale land. He mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. Yeah.
Yes.
Compost bins, if you want to see shit, you're going to see shit. Before I start talking about that, Uncle Joe was talking about worms and stuff like that. Well, bing, bing, bing. You can't have a greenhouse without worms, people. So here you got your red wigglers.
Oh, these big guys.
Yeah, it's right there.
These are grubs.
I was gonna say those are not good.
Yep. Oh, wait, there you were.
Uh-huh.
Throw that out.
I just saw a bunch. Here we go.
There's some wigglers.
Yeah. Hold that up for me. Thanks. Oh, hello. All right, $50. Who's gonna eat it?
Nope.
100? 1,000?
No.
Man, you guys are no fun. But anyway, these are red wigglers, and they're really good, man. When you put anything in here, and it just eats it up. It just eats it up. It just takes it out, and then it creates such good soil. And then also notice we have this table. We'll throw her back down now. Notice we have this table on an angle, right? It's just like what Joe was talking about. So the worms create this pee, right? Or like it's waste. And it's a liquid waste, and it goes down into this bottle here, right here. So the waste goes right down into the bottle, and what that does is worms create such a great compost tea. Billions of good bacteria worms create, and what we do is we blend it, we put it in a spray bottle, or one of these right here, half water, half compost worm waste, worm castings, and it's got billions of good bacteria to inoculate the earth back again. Remember this morning I was talking about Mother Earth being the gastrointestinal tract, right? Well, the gastrointestinal tract needs good bacteria, right? Fermented foods, acidophilus, right? We do that. It's very important for our GI tracts. Well, in order to have a functioning, very healthy greenhouse, it needs to have a good gastrointestinal tract, right? So it needs good bacteria being put back into it all the time. That's where the worms come in. You take the worm castings, dilute it with water, and then use a sprayer and spray all the beds. And then it gets inoculated with billions of good bacteria. And then what happens? The little kale seed gets planted in billions of good bacteria, and then it grows up, and it's got a strong immune system. If a plant has a strong immune system, the insects aren't going to attack it, right? It's a lot like you. If your immune system's down, illness and disease can creep in, right? Bugs love you then. You can get sick then, right? You've heard people, my immune system was down. I caught a cold, right? At the very least, you catch a cold, right? But at the very, and at the very most, you can get more of a serious disease when your immune system's being attacked, right? But if your immune system's strong, you never get attacked because you're too strong. The insects don't even like you. They only attack the weak, right? And so with this lifestyle, you become strong again. And the insects and bugs and evil diseases won't attack you anymore, right? You're just like the plant. So you're doing the same thing as we're doing in the greenhouse here to improve it, to improve your own lives. So, okay, compost, really quickly. This greenhouse actually wasn't very good 4 or 5 years ago. We had to learn a lot. We learned and learned and learned and learned. And one thing we learned was a layering system so we take like the scraps, the bucket scraps you guys are putting scraps in. Mm-hmm. So that's one layer. And so you see all these layers right now of compost. So let's go over here. You can actually see it a little bit. So underneath here, you see underneath is probably a layer of fruit scraps. So layer 1, fruit scraps. Water it down so it heats up. Layer 2, horse shit. Gotta have your horse shit for nitrogen fixing, right? So your horse shit and wood chips, right? That's layer 2. Layer 3, rock dust. You've ever heard of rock dust? Rock dust has all the minerals of the earth in it. If you think about it, what makes a rock? Thousands upon thousands of years of pressure and time, right? Well, in that pressure and time, all the minerals have formed and have hardened to make a rock. And so when you go to a quarry and they crush it up, right? You take those rock quarries and those big machines, crush it all up. I go in, it's cheap too, man. I go in and I'm like, I go in with a truck and I'm like, hey, can I just, they want to get rid of it. They got tons of it in the rock quarries. And they're like, sure, take it. And I'm like, okay. Little do you know, it's like gold, you know? And I don't have to pay that much. It's like nothing, really. And I go and I grab a whole big truck full of rock. That's more like rock sand. And so we sift it out. And then we use another layer of rock sand. And then we come in with greens. We come in with a layer of like banana leaves. And you let it sit there and it heats up. And then every week you flip it. Heats up. It creates what they call a methane gas. A lot of people will stick a tube down it and they can operate showers with it. A lot of really, like you want to be completely green, you can take the methane gas being created from a compost bin and you can run electricity with it. Absolutely. You can gas heat your house. You can YouTube a lot of that, like, you know, uses of methane gas. And people will use their compost bins. They get hot, man. Those things will cook up, heat, hot. You can stick your finger, you could stick like a piece of metal down there. That's when I know they're ready. I'll stick the machete down there. I'll sit it there for 15 minutes and then I'll put my hand on it. And if I'm like, shit, then I know that it's the compost is ready. It's ready to go. You know, and then you got to let it cool off though, because you don't want to put it around the plants when it's that hot, because you'll kill the plants. And so you have to wait for it to cool off. But it's creating a methane, the carbon rises, right? So it creates this gas. And it's really cool. Some people will use the gas to run a jacuzzi. Seriously, I've seen that. I've seen a lot of really cool stuff used with these compost bins.
Maybe one day in the future here?
Absolutely,
Cool.
because we're going to do a pool here soon. And so we may use the methane created from these composts for a jacuzzi pool.
Cool.
Yeah, yep.
Exciting things at the farm.
Yeah, absolutely. All kinds of green things going on. So, yeah, so this is the composting system. It's kind of fun.
Beautiful.
I learned this on the fly. I had no idea. When I came here, I healed myself in Atlanta because everyone's like, oh, you can never heal yourself. No, I came here healed completely well. I did it in the polluted city of Atlanta, so you can do it anywhere. But I came here with like this dream, this vision, but I didn't realize that the vision was going to take a lot of work. What you see here is taking a lot of back-breaking, hard work, and I am such gratitude to the volunteers because at first Jody and I were doing this all ourselves. And then we were like, we can't do this ourselves, it's impossible. Or I need to like split myself into 4 people. I need to clone myself, one or the other. And I can't do that quite yet. Maybe soon. But
Autobiography of a Yogi?
Yeah, there you go. Soon, I'll get there. But as of right now, I can't do it. So I needed more of like, we have Jack, you know, who works in the greenhouse, and you've met Amanda, and you met the volunteer program, and Chris came and helped out and put his back into a lot of big projects that are on this farm, and I can't thank you enough.
Absolute pleasure always, brother.
Yeah.
I love it here.
I love you too,
Blessed to be a part of the creation.
But I mean, it was.
Lang lang.
Yes. Oh, hell yeah. Whoa.
Whoa.
Happy to see me.
Oh, sorry, can't show that.
Oh.
Raw XXX advantage.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, so I had so much to learn when I got here. And I didn't know anything. I didn't know much about gardening at all. Wow. I just read some books, looked online, asked questions. Like, I didn't know about I didn't know about a lot of this stuff, and I just asked. I just asked people who are more knowledgeable. You become very humbled. Yeah. You're like, you know what? I don't know shit about this. Help me, please. And then you learn a little more. The earth always forgives. Maybe something dies on you, and you know what? The sun comes up the next day, right? It's always forgiving. The earth always is unconditionally forgiving. And so you learn, something dies, and you're like, well, okay, what can I learn from this? Why did it die? And then you learn some more. You're like, okay, this is why it died. And you learn. Just like life, right? We learn from our experiences. And now all of a sudden, boop, you got a really cool farm where things are growing and flourishing, and now you know all these little tricks that you can share with everybody else. You know, just like this greenhouse was not very. Jody and I would work all day in here planting, and the next day, freaking grasshopper would eat it all. And I'd be like, shit! We worked all day, you know? I mean, oh God, it was really frustrating. And then you learn though, now all this companion garden, everything, now it's all working like a nice symbiotic balance. So here it is.
So beautiful.
You know. And one little quick thing. Come on out here, and then we'll be done, and we'll go off to get some water because I know we're getting kind of hot.
You can go to the best waterfall out here. Top 10 in National Geographic. Are you gonna show them my little noni?
I know you want me to. I was gonna skip it,
Yeah.
and that was gonna hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
So I'm not now. But this is the noni tree. We talked about the stinky blue cheese tree. When it's white, you can pick it like this, right? And it's hard still, but you can take this. It's all of its vitamins, minerals, and enzymes have already been uptake through its umbilical cord because it's white. When you take it back to the restaurant, wait a couple days, it gets soft, and then you can consume it.
Oh, the beautiful noni. It's good for back pain, for antiparasitic.
Really great for back pain. You know, when I'm working the farm, when I was younger, I got into a couple of really bad car accidents. Woo, this is a strong one. And if I'm working the farm and I'm bending a lot, sometimes I'll get a little bit stiff. I'll eat the noni. I'm good to go. Yep. It's like nature's Aleve or Tylenol. It's a really good painkiller.
Strong.
And just kind of lightly chew it and swallow the seeds.
Okay.
They go through. They go through.
Real quickly, guys, come out here just a second, and then we'll go. I promise we'll get out of here. Lemongrass, tons of it.
Yeah.
Remember we talked about lemongrass? Yeah. If you guys really having trouble sleeping, please, 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 lemongrass, 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 lemongrass. You got all here. Use it for teas. I have bees. I have stingless bees all over the farm. These are beautiful little guys. They look like angels.
Little fairies.
Those are called mariolas. And if you drop mariolas in your eyes, it's been known to cure glaucoma in 3 weeks. I really mostly use the bees for production of the fruit trees, you know, and the flowers to keep the light right. They're the male energy, and the flowers of the you know, they got the penis and the vagina, right? And so I use the bees for the male energy, so it can stimulate the flowers and stimulate more fruit tree production, right? But I also will consume every once in a while. I'll consume their honey, just a little bit. I don't take much, especially if older people come and have eye problems. We just, it opens and clears up the eyes. It's really fantastic for that. I know some vegans will not touch honey, and I respect and honor that. I get that. I will ingest some honey. I find it to be extremely medicinal. It's the only food on this planet that does not go bad. It can last for thousands of years. They found it in an Egyptian sarcophagus. They found a bottle of honey that was 4,000 years old.
Wow.
If you think about it, honey is the only food that shows you your soul. It never dies. It's the only food on this planet that will not spoil. It will only change form.
What about McDonald's?
Ah!
Sorry about that.
Yeah, we can use chemicals to do it, but the only non-chemical, completely raw food
I just vibe with you.
that when it's cold, it hardens. When it's warmer, it turns into a liquid, is honey. It shows you your soul. It masks the soul. So if you can get past the raw veganism thing, which I really honor and respect, I understand if no one wants to consume an animal product. But with these boxes, I treat these guys with love and respect. And if I ever consume their honey, notice they've got 4 floors. I only take to there. And then they have this. And I only harvest it. I harvest it sometimes once every 2 years. I'll take a little bit to here. And I'll use just a little vial of it. And then the queen's down here. And these guys are so wonderful. They don't bother you. They could care less. They're like little angels. And they're actually bees. And they're running all around here. Those flowers. There's flowers here. There's little flowers here on the spearmint. It's constantly just pollinating to reproduce life. And that's what you want on an organic farm. It's very important.
Heck yeah.
And then for anyone who loves jackfruit, we have a most beautiful jackfruit. Turn around, take a 180. Boom, there she is, right there. That's a jackfruit tree.
Hello.
This one?
This one right here.
Oh my.
It's a beautiful jackfruit tree. I would say within 1 year, we'll start to get jackfruits from that.
There's one up the hill that has jackfruits.
Yeah, there's one there too.
What do you got, like 8 or 10 or 12 jackfruit trees?
We've got about 12 of them, and they're all really healthy.
Yeah.
As you guys
Lots
have
of
seen
durian
walking
trees.
around the farm, you've
Lots of
seen
everything.
very few sick and dying plants here on this farm. This farm knows all, you know, what it is here, and they love it here. They're getting love and care and tenderness, and they're thriving. Everything thrives pretty much here. This is the farm of life.
This is the farm of life, man, and so much appreciation to you. Thanks so much for the
You're
tour and
welcome.
for creating this to share with us all. I absolutely love it, as you can tell, and just wanted to share it.
And thanks for your dragon that comes out and looks at me all the time.
Roar!
Yes.
Any last words, Bri?
I love all of you out there. And I'm going to leave you with this.
There you go, the moon, the sacred moon.
It's a sacred moon. Take this trail.
What's down there?
If you walk this trail, there'll be a sign, and it might be down, but there's a sign that says exercise loop. Walk in there, and this is our old growth forest, still our property, and it's a beautiful trail. Wooden little steps, right? And it goes down to another wooden platform that's got a rock gym, very similar to the yoga platform that you were at this morning. If you walk down and you follow it to the right, you'll run right into the rock gym down on your left. And then you can come up this way. It's a full circle. You can go all the way down. There's two. You can either go to the platform and come back up, or you can go down further. It gets steeper. You can go down a little bit further and then take a left. You can't miss the left on your way back up, and then you just come right back up. Right? It's an excellent, beautiful. If it's very hot and you want to get out of the heat, you can go in there. There's trees in there that are 100, 150, 200 years old. It's a very old, wise energy in the exercise loop. And so please, you won't get lost there again. Just go in, walk around, explore, please. There's benches so you can rest, you can read. Okay. There's all kinds of wonderful things down in that exercise loop. There's monkeys in there a lot. I love to see
you
the
guys
monkeys
out
in there.
here. Thanks for following.
Bye, guys.
See you later, bye.
Part of life. I love you guys. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Check out these 2 popular videos. Plus, click below to your 3 free ebooks right here. So, Excited to announce my new iPhone app, free with 101 frickin' awesome recipes, Terry retreat treats, food combining charts, shopping carts, and more.